The President-elect of the United States, 13 days prior to inauguration, steps to a microphone and addresses the nation and calls for the sitting President of the United States to stand up and demand that his supporters stand down. And from the President of the United States, we've heard nothing. President-elect Biden saying that those who are at the Capitol today do not represent America, do not reflect America, its ideals, its virtues, its standards. Says this, what he witnessed today, what we've all seen in shock and horror, is not dissent. It is chaos, as he put it. It is disorder, as he noted. And it borders, as he uttered, on sedition. The words of a president matter, said the president-elect. At best, they can inspire, and have, I might add. At worst, they can incite. The inference is unmistakable. The President of the United States incited today's activities. The President of the United States refused to concede, refused to accept the will of the people. And now, his supporters, after hearing his speech, his profanity-laced refusal to step aside calmly and by tradition, marched from the site of the speech at 11 a.m. today toward the Capitol of the United States, overcame a security cordon, breached the halls of the Capitol, entered its halls, overtook the House chambers, the Senate chambers. Some entered into an armed standoff with guards. Senators and members of Congress were escorted from the building through the tunnels underneath, told to don gas masks. An unconfirmed report of from D.C. police of one person having been shot. A congresswoman reporting to NBC News of flashbangs in the halls. Now the report that 1,100 members of the National Guard and federal agents are marching on Washington to clear this scene. And from the President of the United States, we have heard nothing. The saddest day in America in my lifetime. To see Capitol Hill overtaken by Americans is the latest and last straw in our divided nation. The former Secretary of Defense, on our air moments ago, called for a perimeter around the Capitol to prevent this from happening again. Think of that. How many of you on a class trip or as a parent or grandparent have escorted your grandchild or child to those steps to show them where democracy sits and what democracy represents, and that at any point the people can come to this building where our laws are made, where our representatives gather to do the work of the people, and on this day to see it overtaken and overrun by people carrying long guns. It is a dark day in American history, and darker even, that the President of the United States does not step forward to say stop it. Where is the President? And if he will not come forward, as Joe Biden just insisted he must, and demand this end, should the people demand that his legitimacy of governance must stop. Reuters news service just getting this word. Reuters news service is reporting that a taped message from the president is on the way. A taped message from the president is on the way. And we'll have that shortly. When this day began, our mission as a news organization was to begin to turn the page, to let the rancor and the partisan division be part of our memory, at least for this night, NBC News has just confirmed or just projected that Ossoff has won in Georgia. That's now a 50-50 Senate with control in the hands of the vice president as the president pro tem, and the tie-breaking goes to the Democrats. Now the Democrats are in control in the Senate, though by a razor-thin margin. A far left agenda is not a possibility here. But Democrats control the House, though by a much smaller margin. Democrats control the Senate. Democrats will control the White House. And we have a new agenda ahead. To begin explaining to the American people through our reporting across NBC News platforms what that different America will look like now that America has turned a page, as it has so many times throughout all of our lifetimes. As the people have made a decision that they want to go in a different direction. It's what we do. It's how democracy works. Our plan was to discuss who would be leading the different chairmanships on Capitol Hill, what those chairmanships would mean, how the dialogue would change toward infrastructure. The new president has insisted this will be an infrastructure presidency in the early days. It's the reason that the markets are up in the way that they are today, with infrastructure stocks leading the way. That was our plan for the evening news at 7 o'clock Eastern on CNBC tonight. To tell the story of the page turn, to look forward to what America could become, to shots in the arm, when and how and by what method, and the recovery of our economy, and how we could get the two sides to speak together. It is Vice President Biden, now President-elect Biden, who has said throughout the process, we want to be able to speak to each other again. No matter your background or your political persuasion, you know that he has done that over the course of his political career. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.